welcome back to our final week of plot twists. For the past several weeks, we have been talking about the different twists, turns, and surprises and unexpected things that come in life. And sometimes when we look at plot twists, they can be totally in our control or maybe out of our control. Sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad. And sometimes we can almost accidentally create our own plot twist in a not so great way. And as we're going to be wrapping up our series today, I want to talk to you guys about the times where we mess up on our own plans with accidents, mistakes, failures, or even mess ups, and how when we mess up, Jesus gives us another chance. For the last couple weeks, we have been looking at the stories of Jesus' last days on earth. And a few weeks ago, I shared with you guys the story of Judas betraying Jesus, along with the crowd of people who demanded his execution. But did you guys know that there was actually a third betrayal that happened that night? It was one thing for Jesus to be betrayed by a crowd of people who barely knew him, but it was worse to be betrayed by Judas, one of his friends, someone who he had invested all these years with. And this third betrayal came from one of Jesus's very best friends, and that was a disciple named Peter. And this might seem like a plot twist for all of us when we hear it, but it wasn't a surprise to Jesus. Shortly before his arrest, he predicted that Peter would walk away from him during his darkest hour. And Jesus told Peter this to his face, and of course Peter was like, nope, rejected it. This prediction that he had, he was like, no, with his whole heart. He assured Jesus that he would die before even turning his back on his friend. But when Jesus was arrested, Peter messed up. 3 times somebody asked him if Jesus was his friend, but Peter was so afraid of getting thrown into prison himself. So instead, the 3 different times he was asked, he said, I don't know the guy. 3 times. And as soon as he realized what he had done, Peter was horrified and was ashamed. He must have been almost replaying his own words in his head over and over again, kind of like what we do when we mess up. He was feeling probably embarrassed and maybe even defeated, and he didn't know how he could stand in front of his friend, even though he needed him in that moment. And when Jesus was sentenced to death, Peter probably felt like he totally failed Jesus in his final conversation with him. But of course, now we know that the plot twist of Jesus' resurrection meant that Peter had another opportunity to face his friend again. If Jesus were more like me, I definitely would have called out Peter for being disloyal, betraying our friendship, and leaving me hanging in the time that I need most. And who would have blamed Jesus if he did that? But Jesus didn't do that to Peter in that moment. And none of us have ever really been in a situation exactly like Peter's, but we all know what it feels like to mess up and when we let down somebody we love. We've all disappointed probably a parent and knew that we had to face them afterwards, which is so hard, or maybe broken something valuable that you knew that we'd have to explain what happened afterwards, or even say something hurtful to a friend or somebody that we love. We have all felt the weight of wondering how will the person respond that we hurt, and will they respond in a way where they want to be mad at us forever? Will they never want to speak to us again? Will they want to humiliate us in front of everybody? So many thoughts tend to go into our head, and that might be something that we humans would want to do, but that's not something that Jesus does. Instead, Jesus decided to share a meal with Peter. Jesus forgave Peter, and Jesus gave Peter another chance. When Peter failed Jesus, he may have worried that he would never be able to make things right with Jesus again because of his situation. And maybe you guys have felt the same as well. But with Jesus, thankfully, there's always more plot twists in the works. And just like Peter, when we mess up, we can know that Jesus gives us another chance. If you guys are in a place where you're dealing with a mess up, or there's something on your heart that you feel like is unresolved with somebody, I want you guys to think about that right now. What is something that you've messed up on and you feel like you want another chance in? Okay, I want you guys to keep those things in mind, and let's bring it to Jesus together. Repeat after me. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for loving me. I know I've messed up before, but thank you for always showing grace. I know that when I mess up, I can bring it to you, and that you see what I have done and forgive me and love me for it still. I thank you for this grace. In Jesus' name, amen. So this week, I hope that you guys are just able to practice this a bit more and just see that even though when we do mess up, thankfully with Jesus, there's grace and there's still another chance. So I hope that you guys are able to continue praying about those things that might be weighing on your heart. But we are finished this series for this month, and I'm super excited to start our next one next month, and I shall see you guys when we do that. See ya!